Senator Moreno.
Well, first of all, congratulations on being nominated by President Trump.
Thank you.
Hopeful that we'll get, obviously, you in a bipartisan way across the finish line and all the other nominees so that President Trump can get to work on the agenda that he ran on that the voters overwhelmingly supported to make this country great again. I also want to ask you a tough question. You've been asked to make a lot of commitments. So as somebody with extensive and deep knowledge of the Big Ten, do you commit to cheer for Ohio State on Monday?
We can discuss that a little further, Senator.
Obviously, as you know, the automobile industry is near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
I spent my entire adult life in retail automotive. I think what's really important is for us to know how we got here. We did not invent the automobile. That was done by another country. But we invented what the automobile became. And the automobile became a symbol of freedom. Just ask any 16-year-old who gets his driver's license for the first time what that license really means. The vast majority of Americans don't take public transportation or airplanes to get from point A to point B. They get in an automobile to do that. And for the longest time, as this country's developed our automotive sector, it's been a very simple formula. You had car companies that listened to their dealers, that listened to their customers to make the cars that consumers wanted. And that power of the marketplace dictating the pace of innovation has led to an automotive industry that thrived in this country. The auto industry supported probably somewhere above 7% of our entire GDP. But it seems like in the last few years, there's been this idea that car companies, instead of listening to their dealers and their customers to dictate where they should go, where innovation should lead, is that somehow Washington, D.C. inserted itself in between the relationship between manufacturers and consumers. There's no better example than the weighing of one particular powertrain versus another as to what should be incentivized or produced and made. And unfortunately, we've played into the hands of China. China could never compete with us with internal combustion engines. Instead, they decided to go all in on electric vehicles. And they've now convinced a lot of people here in this city that electric vehicles is the only path forward. And as a result, instead of investing in safety technologies and innovation that consumers want, they're losing tens of billions of dollars to make cars that people just do not want to buy. So I would love to work with you to find a way to make America's automakers thrive again in this country by allowing them and freeing them to make the cars that consumers truly want and are truly demanding.
Senator, I appreciate the question, and I couldn't agree with you more that we shouldn't be forced to buy cars that Washington wants. We should be able to buy the cars that we want. And I think there's room in this space for electric vehicles and gas-powered vehicles, and it might depend on your priorities, the places that you live, the temperatures of where you live. But I want to see a robust marketplace. And I would, again, you have a lot of expertise in this space. I enjoyed our conversation, which you brought up a few points to me that I wasn't aware of. But I would welcome the chance to continue to work with you and pull off of your expertise should it be confirmed as the Secretary of Transportation.
I can assure you that in my decades of experience in the retail automotive business, watching customer behavior in the showroom, I've never had one single solitary client ask me what kind of car their elected official wanted them to buy. That was never something that was asked of me. Instead, it was what car makes sense for them. Yeah. So look forward to working with you on that. And I will spend the last few moments of my time here directed to your wonderful wife. Thank you for allowing him to come back into the public space. Doing this is going to be really, really hard. I don't know how you manage 9 kids. I had only 4, so I'm an amateur by your standards. But thank you, and thank you to your kids, because this is hard on them as well, because it's all of you as a family that are serving this country, and it takes a deep love of this nation to do what you're doing. So thank you so much for doing this.
I'm very grateful, Senator. Thank you.
Senator Markey.